Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thanks so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Yeah, sorry about being tardy to the party. I was so my continuing ed for my real estate license. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Georgia, and I got behind on my continuing ed. So I'm in like non-active mode right now. So I'm gonna finish my continuing ed tonight once I get done with you guys and get back into active mode. Because I'm like, for 2026, I gotta put my real estate license to work. Also, I allowed, like a dummy, and this is the second time I've done this, I've allowed my insurance health and life license here in Atlanta to lapse. And my thing is, like, I put so much work and energy into these license, however you want to say it. It's like, I don't want them to lapse. So I'm going to actually retake the course for the third time, because I've already allowed my insurance license to lapse twice. So for the third time, I'm going to retake the course and get back active. Because I'm like, that's going to be in the tool belt for 2026. But my real estate license is not lapsed; it's just inactive, and I just have to finish my continue ed. I have like 9 hours. I have like 9 hours left, and I'm gonna finish it tonight when you guys get done. So I'm gonna be burning the candle tonight because I want to get this. I want to get this done, so I don't have to worry about it. So, guys, please hit the like button. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Happy to see you all. It's cold here in Atlanta. Gotta break out my my beautiful blanket that one of my guests got for me. Let me pull it up real quick. Shout out to Shannon, y'all. Shandeezy from the Heezy. Shout out to you. She bought me this beautiful Sierra Leone inspired blanket. Well, I guess it'd be blanket, or I guess it'd be considered blanket. It was real thick. It was real nice. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Show you guys a picture. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. So Shandeezy from the Heezy got this. Guys, hold on. Here we go. Beautiful Sierra Leone inspired color quilt. There you go, quilt. And so I live in Atlanta, and Atlanta get cold. Yes. So this right here is what I need, yes, for the cold Atlanta winters. So shout out to Shandeezy for this beautiful Sierra Leone. You got the whole quilt? You got the whole thing? There we go. I need the king size for my king size bed. So yeah, so I'm at to break that out tonight because it's getting a little nippy, a little chilly here in Atlanta. But it's supposed to warm back up later on this week, and we're gonna have a warm. Well, I won't be here for Christmas. I'll be in Sierra Leone. We actually leave Saturday for Sierra Leone, so I'll be in Sierra Leone. So looking forward to that. But yeah, man, it's getting kind of cool, kind of chilly, nippy in Atlanta. And I can tell you right now, I'm one of those people. I don't like the cold weather. I'm not one of these. Whatchamacallit, I need 4 seasons. Nah, just spring and summer. Spring and summer is what I need. I don't need winter. I don't need fall. I just need spring and summer, preferably just summer. It's up north. I'm up north, so it's very cold here. In the 20s up this way. Yeah, I'm good, y'all. More power to y'all. I'm good. I don't, like I said, I don't do the cold weather at all. Can't stand it. And it's not going to be too bad when we leave from DC as well. So thank God for that. Guys, make sure you check out Donfo. Go visit donfo.africa. Again, that's donfo.africa, DANFO.Africa. We are rolling to Cape Town March 25th through April 2nd. Again, we're rolling to Cape Town March 25th through April 2nd. If you're interested in, is 80s in LA? Well, I'm jealous. Is 80s in LA? Hold on. I don't believe you. No, it's in the 70s. But hey, I'll take 70s. I'll take mid 70s, high 60s. I'll take it. Yes, sir. I'll take that. Any day of the week. I will definitely. I have no problem taking that. Not a Diddy take that. Not a Diddy take that. But yeah, I'll definitely I'll be happy with mid 70s, high 60s any day of the week. Once we start dropping outside the 55, like once we drop below 55, that's when I start, getting into my feelings. Again, once we drop below 55, that's when I start getting into my feeling. Like, nah, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, so guys, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. We're rolling to Cape Town, March 25th through April 2nd. Then we're going to Senegal. That's May 9th to the 18th. Then we're going to Nigeria. That's August 9th to the 18th for the Oshun Festival. Cape Town and Senegal are both for jazz festivals. Then we're doing Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue. And then we're rolling to where else are we rolling to? In November, we're doing Ghana and Ivory Coast. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa. Let's jump into today's topic. And I want to set the record straight on something. FBA just isn't some type of internet psyop. FBA isn't limited to just the internet. Why do I say that? So a lot of time when we have these FBA ADOS conversations, the argument is, well, no one in my friend group or no one in my circle has ever heard of the term FBA, or do they refer to themselves as FBA? And this is my pushback. They might not refer to themselves as FBA or ADOS, but their mindsets, and many of us in the Black community, our mindsets are very similar to the pathology and the mindsets of those who are FBA and ADOS. And what Yvette Carnell and Tariq Nasheed were very successful at doing was taking that segment of Black society and giving it a label. So, yes, they might not have heard of the term, but the ideology is there. So that's why when you say, you know, oh, no one doesn't know about FBA, no one knows about ADOS, maybe the term, I'll give that to you, but the mindset, again, the mindset is definitely within the community. Yeah, you might not see people wearing FBA Nelia or rocking the FBA flag. But again, the mindset, guys, I've been doing this. I've been on this journey since 2011. So we're going on 14, well, not going on 14 years. I'm telling you, the conversations I have with our people in regards to Africa, trust and believe. Again, they might not have on the FBA t-shirt or rocking the flag, or using the word tether, but the ideology is there. I was just thinking about that the other day. You guys know I take groups to Africa. So you have no idea sometimes the conversations I have with our people when it comes to traveling to Africa, and the misconceptions and the stereotypes that they still use in 2025 going into y'all, the year is almost over. Y'all, the year is almost over. It's gone by fast. We're going into 2026. I'll be 44 next year. I will be 44 next year. That's crazy. Time goes by fast. It went by too fast. I've been planning for next year. I'm going all out next year. But that's another topic. That's another story. AJ says, what ideology? The rhetoric that Yvette Carnell and Tariq, the rhetoric that they use is nothing new. Ivy, that's fine. That's fine. I know. But the rhetoric that Tariq and what's her name? Yvette Carnell, it's nothing new. That rhetoric is nothing new. Like someone brought up to me the other day, and it's true. When the ACS, American Colonization Society, was going door to door and offering slaves the opportunity to get off the plantation and go back to Africa, the majority, over 99%, say they would rather stay on a plantation than go back to Africa. That's a fact. So the rhetoric is nothing new. Guys, I'll put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in, please click on the link. Again, links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. link is in the chat room. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We got to pay some bills, y'all. We got to pay some bills. Hit that super chat button.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
All right, go ahead, Ben.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's good?
Yeah, kind of slightly different topic, if you don't mind me presenting it to you.
Well, it depends, but go ahead. Let me hear it.
Okay, so there's a video that's I guess it's a viral video, and it's a short video on the Blue Vein Society. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah, it's one of those like elite societies kind of thing.
Yeah, so it goes in a brief history on how the children of the white slave masters and the black slaves, that they were the ones that were educated, and they got to stay inside the master's house, and they eventually they created their own society. And the brown paper bag test, which I always thought that the white man came up with that. Well, actually, it was the biracial children, the descendants of the biracial and mixed breed, that came up with the brown paper bag test, and they used to put it in front of the entrance. So if you wanted to attend their parties and stuff, you had to pass the test, the brown paper bag test. But to make a long story short, the video basically it says it's telling us that Black Americans, and I noticed this, Black Americans use biracial and mixed race people as the representative or the face of Black America. And the video says that the Black slaves were jealous of the half breeds, and that whole trauma was passed on down from generation to generation up till today. And you can compare Tariq Nasheed's movement with the FBA, because the brown paper bag now is the lineage. And in order for you to be part of this elitist Black organization, you have to have the lineage instead of passing, the brown paper bag test. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Andre.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now, I do have my issues with FBA, as I stated before on a previous discussion that, I've had with you or just with the panel. But I think that every time we have these conversations, people always pathologize us and never pathologize other people. Jamaicans do not call themselves African. Other people of the diaspora do not refer to themselves as African. Only the Africans mainly do. So I don't understand why people want to just make it seem like we're just these lost children that don't know where we're from, and saying that we're cultureless, and saying that we don't have any type of identity. Now, of course, Tariq takes it too far because he's trying to grift off this. But to say that we don't have any type of culture or don't have any type of contribution to America or just to things globally, I feel like people are being very dishonest about that, and trying to lump us in with everybody else so that way they could get their agendas met. So I think the issue with the Pan-Africanist movement is that I feel like it's designed to center everything around Africa and not enough around multiple groups that are getting certain specific things done. I feel like that's really what is like what certain Pan-Africanists are trying to do online, is trying to undermine the reparations movement so that way they can get their agendas met, and then the ADOS movement could just die off, and then we'll just be lumped into this, this African bag. Or
hey, guys, one second. Eric B 1902, put the link in the chat room, please. Like, don't just drop that in the chat without actual source. All right, go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, back to what I was saying. I just feel like a lot of times when it comes to Pan-Africanists online or even offline, they're here to basically make us into this one group, even though we're not monolithic. Even people in Africa do not see themselves as a monolith. So why do we always like to lump every Black person in as if we're the same? There's even a recent video out, I think it was on Twitter, that I think Yvette or somebody shared. And it was this man from Benin that said that, we're not your brothers and sisters. He said that clearly, and he was stating that, no, we're different. It's a distinction between, Africans, Black Americans, and Caribbean people. Basically,
Dre, that's just one person. Dre, literally,
I know it's anecdotal, but I'm saying that some of them do think like that.
Some of us think like that, Dre. Within our own, within our own FBA community, you have Black people from New York, Black people from Cali, Black people from the South.
I mean, that's true, but I think you're trying to take away from the fact that they also do the same thing on the continent. Like on the continent, they literally, have distinctions in terms of tribes that they come from, in terms of cultural practices or customs that they have. And then for some reason, they're not seen as divisive. But when we say that we have a specific culture or a specific lineage, it's like, oh, we're being divisive. Now, of course, FBA people, they can be xenophobic sometimes. They can say a lot of harsh things about Africans and Caribbean people. That's one of my critiques of them. So, of course, I agree with you when you say that that Tariq kind of leads people into this kind of thing of attacking Black people of the diaspora, but he's not wrong about the fact that we need a distinction. He's not wrong about that, because I think what it is that if everybody else can have a distinction, how come we can't have a distinction between us and other people? Not to create this us versus them, but I'm just saying to take pride in where you come from. Why is that such an issue? Why do people have more of an issue with us identifying ourselves a certain way? Like, how is it divisive to say that we're of a certain lineage? How is it divisive? I just want to know that.
All right, go ahead, Skywalker.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing good. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, man. That's they're always they're talking about. Oh, we're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. Africans don't like us. No, I don't like you, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm born and raised in America, right? Man, this is all like I say. They don't even have any legitimate reason to even come up with all this xenophobia and like delineation. It's and I would say that it actually is an internet movement, because like I say, most Black people know absolutely nothing about FBA. I agree with the other brother too, who mentioned the fact that you know, the mixed breeds, the half breeds or the mulattoes, you know, those, if anybody is foundational Black American, it would be mulattoes, right? You, as a matter of fact, if you go on like Wikipedia and look up Barack Obama or look up, you know, like a lot of these guys like Lonzo Ball or something like that, it doesn't say an African American basketball player. It says an American basketball player, right? But when you go to a dark, you know, like to someone who still, you know, maintained their originality, you know, like somebody, you know, like a genuine, somebody that looks like you, Dinas, or, you know, someone that might be a little darker, you know, it says African American, right? So if FBA is any kind of group, it's the mulattoes, right? You know, it's the ones, and when you go around and you look at the supervisors and, you know, a lot of the CEOs, a lot of them are mulattoes, right? And hey, it's just the truth, you know, it is what it is, right? You could, Barack Obama wasn't the first Black president. He was the first mulatto president. The same way I can call him Black, I can call him white, right? You know, but that's all I want to say, Don, is I'm actually on the road. I just wanted to say that. But take it easy,
okay, bro. No problem. Teddy on politics. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make a correction with what Dre said about Jamaicans. Jamaicans call themselves Black. They call themselves Black all the time.
When did they call themselves Black? When they get here, or when they're in Jamaica?
Yeah, when they're in Jamaica, they call themselves Black. It's plenty.
But do they say African? Do they say African? I know people use that interchangeably, but do they say African specifically?
Are you familiar with the Rastafarians? Are you familiar with the Rastafarian religion? That's Jamaican. Rastafarian.
But they always make a clear distinction that they're Jamaican.
The Rastafarian religion is based on African spiritual systems.
They might have African spiritual systems, but they don't refer to themselves as African. They refer to themselves as the nationality that they were born under. But only when we do it, we're somehow a problem, or it's just being divisive. That's just my thing, is that every time we have these conversations, it's always like people trying to pathologize us and say, oh, we just are self-hating people. We don't like ourselves and all this type of stuff. Now, of course, there are certain people within that group that don't like themselves. But and of course, I'm not denying that we have West African genetics, because of course we have those type of genetics. But what I'm saying is that once we've been 400 years removed from that now. So we're no longer continental Africans. We are now American based off of the nationality. Of course, we can acknowledge the genetics. You know, I'm all for that. I'm all for nuance. But the fact that y'all are trying to kind of put us in this African bag as if we were born on the continent, it just really is just asinine at this point. Because I'm like, we were never born over there.
Continental Africans that call themselves Blacks. Kenyans call themselves Black all the time. South Africans call themselves Black all the time. Nigerians call themselves Black too. So to make a
only when they get here, only when they get in the United States, they call themselves Black. They do not refer to themselves as Black on the continent.
They call themselves Black. When they are on the continent, they call themselves Black. They say they are Black.
That's probably only if they are a part of the Pan-Africanist movement. But other than that, they refer to themselves as the nation that they were born under, in the tribe that they come from, or ethnic group that they come from.
How do you determine who is part of the Pan-Africanist movement and who's not? If someone says they are Black, how do you know that they're Pan-Africanist?
The reason why I know that they don't refer to themselves as Black on a grand scale is because most of the people over there are Black, so they don't call themselves Black. They're probably calling themselves based off tribe and nation. It's not about Blackness. Here, we racialize everything in the United States. They don't racialize everything over there like that.
No, they don't, because they don't have to. They don't.
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
Wait a minute. This is what I'm saying. Is that Jamaicans, the majority of Jamaicans are Black. Not all Jamaicans are Black, but the Black ones say they Black. You don't have to go around saying that you're Black when you're in the majority. You just don't. You don't have, that's only in America where you draw the distinctions based on color. Because America was drawn on basis of the delineation or the demarcation was based on color. So when you go to other countries, you go to other predominantly black countries through the Caribbean, maybe Central and South America, they already know they're black. Everybody's black. There's no distinction. There's no reason to make a distinction. But what I'm saying is,
it makes no sense because people do make distinctions. I think you're being dishonest. You're being dishonest because you know that other people in other places make clear distinctions in terms of cultures and tribes and everything like that. You know that on the continent. I think you're just saying that because you're trying to make it seem as if like all of them are just in unison with us on this grand scale, and we know it's not true.
I'm not saying that they're in unison with anybody. But they don't have to make a distinction because everybody in their country is the same color. If you go to any Asian,
it's not about skin color. See, that's the problem with the Pan-Africanist movement is that y'all make everything about skin color, and y'all don't make everything about lineage or things about distinctions of different groups or whatever, and how they are different and what they need to fight for specifically. Y'all make everything about skin color. Like, so just because we got melanin together, y'all think that somehow that means that we're all one and the same. We're not one and the same just because we have the same skin color or we have the same melanin production. Melanin in our skin. That does not make us the same.
Okay.
And y'all know that. Y'all see it from that perspective.
Wait a minute. If you go to a country where everybody's the same, why would they make a distinction between, if you go to China and everybody's Chinese, where you can get to the different, Mandarin and Cantonese and different languages and different dialects of Chinese, but they all know they're Chinese. There is no distinction.
Yeah, but they know that they're different just based off of certain customs that they have. So of course the people might look the same, but they have different cultural practices. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the reason why I said that. Like, okay, they might acknowledge the skin color, but they know that there are different things that they can separate themselves from.
When they say they're Jamaican, they base it off their nationality. They know where they're from. They're
Hey, guys, let me read these super chats. I gotta pass them back to Abdul. Let's see here. Ivy Dream, thank you for 499. Holla Dynast. We went to Liberia and looked at what the natives Africans did to FBA, Eddie O.S. Freeman, and a lot of biracials went to Liberia. Eric B. 1902, thank you for $5 holla. Breaking Nigerian lawmakers call for war against Burkina Faso. Need to post a source on that, buddy. Find ways to win. Fitzgerald Stevens, my brother. Thank you for the 499 holla. Appreciate what you do, Mr. Amir. I appreciate you, Fitzgerald. One Elliot Gray Fox 5887. Thank you for $5 holla. They don't have to make a distinction because they live in a homogeneous society, so they don't have to delineate in another country. Facts. All right, go ahead, Abdul.
Yes, guys. I hope you guys can hear me. I want to make sure I do a mic check because I've been having a problem with my mic lately. What I would say here, like the brother just said, Jamaicans themselves already acknowledge that they are African. If you listen to root and reggae, they are deep root reggae music where they sing based on the Rastafarian culture. They always say that they are Africans. Always. Wherever, I don't know if you listen to Peter Tosh, when he says, no matter where you're from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. Peter Tosh is like Michael Jackson in Jamaica. Compared to Michael Jackson here, Peter Tosh is like Michael Jackson in Jamaica. He himself is saying that.
Peter Tosh said, if you're black, you're African.
Thank you. So that tells you that the whole nation itself acknowledge their Africanness, right? When it comes to the country, Jamaica, they have a sovereignty, a sovereign state. So they have to represent where their sovereign country is, which is Jamaica. But that doesn't mean that they don't acknowledge that they are African or of African descent and then want to be part of Africa. Same thing goes with the Haitians. Same thing goes with all of these other countries that have black people. that are majority black and they have their own sovereignty. So I will have a question here, right? Say I see an Asian, right? Even though they are maybe from Philippines and these other places, Japan and everything. When I see them, I say, "Hey, where you from?" First, they might tell me, "Okay, they're Asian." Then I say, "Okay, where are you really from?" Then they will call Philippines and Jamaica, Japan and China, because they acknowledge that they came from a continent called Asia. The same thing with the Jamaicans. They acknowledge that even though they have their own country, but as a whole, as a collective, they acknowledge their Africanness. The only people that are failing to meet that criteria is the Black Americans, and this was not the case back in the 60s and the 70s. Africa was very strong among the society of Black America, and we have to understand that Black America has no sovereignty. Basically, we are on Black Americans are under the rulership of the white supremacy in the United States. So you cannot yeah, we the Africans, we understand that you guys are distinctive. That's why we call you guys Black American before, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, African American. We change it also to African American. Any name you come with, we accept it because we know that you guys are a distinctive group.
Yeah, we lost you. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, please. Please hit that like button. Now, let me pass it to Festus. Go ahead, Festus. Unmute yourself, Festus.
Hey, good evening, Dynast. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna address what was said earlier about Africans not addressing themselves as black. Ever since I grew up, I knew what a white man was, what he looked like, and paradoxically, I knew that I was black. I don't know of any Nigerian growing up that didn't know himself as black, and you still cannot take away our nationalities, our ethnic identity. I am Yoruba. I'm from Nigeria, so you can't take that away. But I think the issue of race, colorism was constructed in the US to differentiate between white Europeans, French, Italians, and whatnot from the blacks and the natives. So, and also the idea of Pan-Africanism and whatnot. I don't really know if folks have actually been to Nigeria. We have the foolish Nigerians amongst us who are bigoted, who look down on other people. And also we have the intuitively brilliant ones who know our place in the wider world and what race has to do with, keeping black folks down, regardless of where you are, Africa or the US. So I'm just, I guess, confused as to why this sort of should I say attack or whatnot towards Africans or Jamaicans. We all know we're all black. I mean, if we know white folks are white, then obviously, then what does that make us like? Orange, yellow, purple, like we are black. I don't know of any Nigerian that didn't know themselves as black. So I just want to put my 1 cent in. That's all I gotta say.
No, what I was saying is that once you get here, you mainly classify yourself as black because, of course, we live under a racialized system. So what I'm saying is that y'all make the distinction quickly. So I don't understand why you're trying to make it seem like Jamaicans don't make the distinction between
I
Americans.
don't know much about Jamaicans. I don't know much about Jamaicans,
or just continental Africans and all those.
Well, I'm from the continent, and I knew myself as black. I've always known myself.
Well, are you a
black,
part of the Pan-Africanist movement?
I am.
Are you a part of that?
Come again, I didn't hear you.
I said, are you a part of the Pan-Africanist movement?
I'm Pan-Africanist. I'm a Afrocentric.
Okay, so it proves my point. It's usually the Africans that are a part of the Pan-Africanist movement that probably refers to themselves as black because of Black Americans being a part of that and them kind of lumping everything together.
Can you explain to me? Okay.
Because what I'm saying to you,
can I explain to him right quick, please? Most of those people that are Pan-Africanists, that's what the guy was saying. Those are the intellectuals of Africa who understand what Pan-Africanist is. Those people that you are talking about that don't know that they are Pan-African or don't identify themselves as Pan-Africanists, 9 times out of 10, they never went to school. They never even went to grade 1. So how can you communicate with people like that? Those are the people that we are talking about.
Yeah, can I
when I'm
interject?
saying black,
Can I say something quick?
Come across those people, you might think all Africans are like that. You have to speak to the Pan-Africanists who understand who they are and what the global agenda is for Black people. That's it.
Yeah,
but it's usually centered around Africa. That's my point.
Yes, because the Pan-Africanism in America has died in
So
the
that
60s.
undermines Black Americans because we are excluded out of that. Especially because I mean, even some of you Pan-Africanists on these panels be undermining even the reparations argument for Black Americans. Y'all say, "Oh well, we don't deserve it," or "We're not going to get it." You know how you have the fatalist mentality.
Nobody ever said that.
Yes, I've heard them say that. You know, what's his name? Brandon, Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Even Dynas to some degree said that we won't get it or we shouldn't get it.
That's the definition of Pan-Africanism, is the inclusion of Black folks everywhere. So
but it still undermines Black Americans because because it centers around Africa, because it's going to be more centered around the continent and not of this country that we live in. I don't have time to fight in Africa because I don't live over there.
Brandon is American. Brandon is American. You just mentioned one person. Brandon is American. That's why I said Pan-Africanism in America has died. The only place that strong Pan-Africanism still exists is in Africa. And there are some skirmishes in America that still have a stronghold of Pan-Africanism, like the Black Panthers and them, but it has died a long time ago. So when Brandon and them are talking, these people, these other Pan-Africanists that you're seeing, you have to understand there are different type of them. Since Pan-Africanism have died here, you have to figure out who is the actual ones that are following the footsteps of Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Kwame Nkrumah, all these people. So you cannot.
Now, if you want to do business in Africa, if everybody wants to do business in Africa or do business in the Caribbean, that's fine. But what I'm saying is that how come when we say that we want to start a movement here is like it's a problem or we're being divisive or whatever? That's just my point, because like I said, the Pan-Africanism movement, all it's going to do is just undermine what ADOS is doing. That's all it's going to basically do.
How is it undermining?
Because it's trying to flatten blackness. It's trying to flatten blackness. It's trying to make us be all one and the same. And it's going to.
It doesn't make any difference. It includes FBA. It includes ADOS.
No, see, in Cobra, that's the problem with in Cobra is that it included all Black people in the reparations movement, knowing that none of the Africans that come from Africa were even oppressed the same way we were oppressed here. And that's what they try to do, is try to attach themselves to that.
That's not what they're doing.
But they will do it, because some of them are scammers and some of them will try to find ways to swiggle their way in.
That doesn't.
No, that's not, bro. Nobody that's a Pan-Africanist cares nothing about no reparations. Like, this is my thing with y'all, bro. Y'all?
Why should Black Americans be Pan-Africanists if they
brother, you've been speaking, brother. You've been speaking.
That's the reason that you don't deserve it, because you're not paying attention to what we need to pay attention to.
Can I say something?
You need to do your homework, brother. Do your homework on Pan-Africanism. Listen to Malcolm X. Listen to Malcolm X, brother.
Can I say something as someone from the Caribbean? I can offer a perspective as someone from the Caribbean. There is merit to what he's saying regarding Black immigrants that want to keep the Black label and to prevent the delineation of the Black Americans, because I think that a lot of Black immigrants want to partake, if it ever happens. I don't think it's going to happen, but the reparations. So as long as the U.S. identifies Black people as a race and not as distinct ethnicities, then if reparations ever happens, then they would also benefit from it. But I also want to say this about the the online Black Americans. Um, their delineation is not just lineage based; it's also racial based. Because I've seen Black Americans put up pictures, photos of themselves, and comparing themselves to Africans, and they would make fun of Africans. You know, their features. They would show that because they're a little bit mixed with Europeans, so they would show that, oh, we're not Africans, and it's not just culturally. They're saying that they're not Africans phenotypically, they're not Africans racially. These are the Black Americans online that I've seen it, and they're saying, and the funny thing is that the same Black Americans. Let me just say this. The same Black Americans that say they want to delineate, right? They are the ones that attacked Dominicans. They attacked Dominicans, and they would come up with slogans like me no black, me Dominicans, right? They would make fun of Dominicans because Dominicans were delineating. They were the first to delineate, and Black Americans would go after them, and say, we're just like you, we're mixed just like you. And I said to myself, wait a second, so this is what's going on. Black Americans want to, the ones online, I don't know about outside the internet, but the ones on social media, they want to be viewed as mixed breeds, right? So they don't want to be seen as Africans phenotypically. They just want, they'll accept the claim that they have African ancestry from remote ancestry, right? Remote African ancestry, but they are a distinct phenotypically and genetically group of people, and they are not African. That's the sentiment of Black Americans online that
Most of
I
them want
have
to be
witnessed.
Indian.
Let me clarify something for you. Let me clarify something for you about
slavery did not happen.
Man,
Some of them said
y'all
slavery
need
did
to.
not
It's
happen.
people that haven't spoken yet that don't understand
I
them.
gotta pass the mic. Let me read the super chat. Detail, thank you for $2. Holla. What Africans said they deserve reparations. Let me pass it to Invisible Man. Invisible Man, go ahead.
Hey, I want to go back to one of the guys that says something about Black Americans are subjects of the United States. I mean, that's totally false. Let's look at it like this. Sure, Black Americans don't have a country like Haiti or like Jamaica or like some other Caribbean islands where they can go by their nationality because of it being an entire Black continent or country. But we came over to America at the same time, or the United States, the same time that everybody in South America, Central America, the Caribbeans came over to this hemisphere. So to say that we are subject to is absolutely false. We can say that we're American the same way Jamaicans can say that they're Jamaican. We were here before the country was even called the United States. We fought and everything. And let me add this as well. When you look at the culture, going back to your yesterday conversation, the culture of Black influences is totally woven into the United States, as well as you just can't categorize Black people as having culture based in maybe one category. I mean, Black people are very inventive, as we have seen with Whitney what's his name that did the cotton gin?
Eli Whitney.
Eli Whitney, thank you. And so to say that we are subjects to is totally
I did not say
wrong.
that, sir.
Okay, what did you say?
You misunderstand me.
Okay, what did you say?
I said Black America do not have a sovereignty or sovereign states. That's what Malcolm X was fighting for. Malcolm X wanted a sovereign state or only Black people, a country which can represent, you can have a representative in the United Nations.
We've got
Jamaica have
That was
Jamaica have
Marcus Garvey.
no. I'm
That started
gonna
with Marcus Garvey.
argue with you because I did hear you say that we were subject to. But my main point
no,
is
no.
hold
I
on.
say
My
when
main
it comes to
point, listen,
sovereignty, you are
my
under the
main
United
point is
States.
this. My main point
Are
is
you gonna
this.
tell me what I'm
My
saying?
main
sir?
point, listen. My main point is this. Just as Jamaicans can say that they are Jamaican, Black Americans, first and foremost, are American. Therefore, when you get to any type of a reparations argument, or going on to the further argument that people are coming over here and getting or saying that they're Black to get into a med school, to get into a job, to get a
some of them are part of NGOs.
Okay, I mean,
whatever I just said has nothing to do
listen.
with reparations.
That's all. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Black Americans, even the Pan Africans who have some issue, are American first. Black American
That's not true.
How is it true?
They
call themselves
a Pan African is anybody that's a real Pan African is not finna identify as no American.
Okay, well that's the Pan African born in America. That's their problem.
Okay, so
it's not a problem. It's a disposition.
Wait a minute. So with Jamaicans that identify as Jamaican within the Pan-Africanist movement, how come that's not a problem? But when we say that we're American, that's all of a sudden a problem within the Pan-Africanist movement.
Who said it was a problem? Nobody said
it was a problem. If you want to be American, be American.
Because, like you say, oh, well, no, we don't identify as American. But okay, what Jamaicans, how come you don't say that about Jamaicans or say that about other people of different
this point keeps being made by people that think like y'all, bro, and then it gets addressed, but y'all still stay with the talking point. Anybody that's a Pan-Africanist, bro, these pseudo ethnicities that are created after we got dropped off do not matter, bro. Like nobody, brother. You've been speaking the entire time. Can you please stop interrupting?
It doesn't matter. You speak on all these things, and you are totally lost. Were you born here in the United States?
That's subjective. That's subjective. That's a subjective opinion. I can substantiate everything I'm saying with factual information and sources. Yes, I can. And the point of us being subject, the point of us being subject to the United States is factual. You can't. There's no way you can argue that we're not subject to the United States government. So that statement is fallacious. Can y'all please stop interrupting? Y'all been speaking. Either finish speaking. Okay, finish speaking your premise then.
Please let the guy talk. Let Tanga BC talk, man. Damn.
Nah, if he's not finished speaking his initial premise, let him finish. I'm not finna talk over him. If he yields the mic, then that's when I'll begin speaking.
Here, I'm gonna say this last thing. As much as you can say that you are Pan-African, we can say that we're FBA and we're American. So as much as you say that is subjective, Pan-African is subjective.
It's not subjective.
Wait, hold on. Can I speak now?
Ideology. Pan-Africanism is an ideology.
The movement is an ideology, sir.
Pan-Africanism.
Bro, can we get back to having the order though? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's people that haven't spoken initially. I think it's two. I think Warden hasn't gone and I haven't gone to speak. So Warden, you can go if you haven't spoke. People that have spoke already need to stop interjecting until somebody's finished with their premise.
Yeah. In fact, things that people were saying like Pan-Africanism is dead and all that. No, this is far from dead. Even in here, even in the U.S., it's going on all over the world. It's pretty healthy. So the fact that everybody says that it's dead and everything, no, it's not dead. And if you want to be American, nobody's forcing you to be anything else. You could be this. What we're just saying is we're doing what we're doing. We're doing the work. And whatever you want to do, you do you. That's it. We're not forcing anybody, but all this is complaining and arguing and all this is pointless. That's it. FBA, do what you got to do. If you want to build your infrastructure, do it. But Pan-Africanists are doing what Pan-Africanists have to do. Point blank. All right. close my book.
Yeah, and again, go ahead. You did spoke. Go ahead. No.
The brother, I agree with everything the brother saying. I don't like y'all people that are FBA or anybody that's a nationalist as far as the colonial concepts and countries that they have now. If y'all want to do that, do that. But I'm saying when you get under Pan-Africanism, quote unquote ethos, it's not all of the ethnicities and the colonial demarcations that are known as countries today. That doesn't take precedent. Our shared identity takes precedent. That's the entire point. Is to transcend the ancillary categories that we have now. So in order to be an effective Pan-Africanist, you can identify to a lower degree of the colonial concepts that are called nations today, but it's not. It's about creating a functional solution to solve our problems. If you want to, nobody's trying to convince y'all FBA people to join no Pan-Africanism. Like y'all can do what y'all want to do, and in fact, the way y'all think, it's not going to be conducive to nothing we doing anyways. If you don't organically come to these conclusions, like you're not going to be of any use. So I don't know where y'all get this main character syndrome stuff from, but nobody really cares, bro. But initially, the point of contention is when y'all try to set up and castigate the people that come over to the country, which is y'all right to do, but I'm saying it's pointless. So y'all's tactics are not effective, and the way what y'all utilize y'all time doing is not going to be ultimately effective. And my thing is, bro, it's about autonomy. Trying to beg the European to give you resources when you don't have any military apparatus to give them an impetus to give you resources, to me is nonsensical. But I'll yield the mic.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? You see? Go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't know how many of you are aware that the AU, the African Union, is fighting for reparations for all Black people everywhere. That includes you FBA-minded people, the ADOS-minded people. So you're going to say if they come through with reparations, whatever it might be, you're gonna deny that. You're going to separate yourself from that, because Pan-Africanists are not separating ourselves from you. You're separating yourselves from us. You're excluding yourself from the global Black community by making that delineation. We're a different type of black people than the other Black people. But we're not saying
they do it all the time.
No, we're
they do it all the time.
We're not saying that it does not include you. We're not making it exclusively it doesn't include ADOS and FBA people. They are included in the Black community, the global Black community. That's what Pan-African
The distinction is more of a political thing. It's not about like just saying that we're better. It's just saying that we have to move politically different than everybody else, because things have happened to us here that did not happen to other people in other places. Now, of course, we can make the argument and say that slavery happened globally, but the type of slavery that happened here was very different from the slavery that happened in other places.
So now you're saying from what you're saying is one type of slavery was better than the other or worse than the other.
No, I didn't say. See, you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say no slavery was better.
You made a distinction between the slavery that happened
here was U.S. chattel slavery. That's different than other
slavery in the Caribbean. It was chattel slavery in Central and South America.
But they capitalized off of it here, and then the fact that y'all try to.
They capitalize. I'm in the Caribbean right now.
Okay, but then why when they come here? Why when these certain Caribbean people come here, they always tell us that we don't work hard enough, or that we're lazy, or that why do y'all utter the white supremacist talking points, but then y'all want us to be Pan-Africanists? I don't get it. Y'all say that
nobody's trying to convince y'all.
But then y'all turn around and then y'all punch down on us and say that we are just somehow being lazy bums because we want to demand justice, reparative justice from the U.S. government. And I'm just saying, they got CARICOM in the Caribbean. How come y'all don't say anything about CARICOM, about the European forces that undermine them?
CARICOM does have a reparations division, and it was there long before. It started in the 1980s.
But we're not included in that, and that's okay. That's okay that we're not included in that.
Okay,
What?
brother, can I interject?
They
But whose fault
have
is it? We
CARICOM
haven't
has a
put for an
reparations commission.
objective.
Yeah, can I interject with this
I
brother?
don't see that as divisive because they're being specific.
Hello.
But they're not saying don't join in with the reparations movement globally.
Guys.
Yeah, I mean, we can have allies. I'm not against the allyship, but what I'm saying is that they cannot attach themselves to the actual reparations, claim or anything because of the.
They're not. Nobody's trying to do that.
Yo, guys.
Yeah, but the fact that y'all think that y'all can.
I've never even seen the Caribbean try to do it. I've never seen UK try to do it. I've never seen Africa try to do it.
Exactly.
Like, get that thought out of your mind.
Right.
It's not happening. It's never going to happen.
Fact that
you
y'all
have to do lineage.
The fact that y'all think that the U.S. government.
Every time it comes to us, y'all always say that we're not going to get it. We're never going to get it. Always the white man, this and that.
Because your mindset isn't there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the way y'all tactics are trying to lobby somebody for something, it just historically has not been effective. Like,
how effective
Pan-Africanism has not historically been all the way effective either.
Yeah.
I mean, even Africans themselves said that Pan-Africanism was dead.
Tactically, it is effective. I'm saying ultimately y'all's tactics. Historically, ultimately y'all's tactics have not been effective.
There have been collusions with Russia in the Pan-Africanist movement at some point.
What Russia?
Wait, he was talking when you was talking. Can you repeat that? I didn't hear what you said. No, I'm not talking about you. So I'm talking about the brother that said something about Russia.
That question, so you can.
Yeah, there have been claims about certain Pan-Africanist people within the movement that have colluded with Russia. Like, you can look it up.
I mean, what does colluding with Russia mean, though?
Yeah, what does that even
what does that mean?
Means that they're not in favor of all Africans, that they probably wanted to collude with them so that way they can get certain type of personal gains or whatnot. So,
bro, y'all are this would be my problem with y'all, bro. Y'all are geopolitically ignorant. How would aligning with Russia as far as trying to procure weapons or trade deals be saying that they better than like this y'all's thinking, bro, is elementary, bro. Like that's why these conversations be pointless.
I think you're delusional. I think Pan-Africanists like you are delusional because you're romanticizing Africa as if that's just the promised land for all of us, and we know it's not. We know that
brother, you have that right to think I'm delusional, but again, I would echo that sentiment towards you.
Fantasyland because you're
no, but I would echo that sentiment towards you, saying that you're trying to lobby. You're trying to lobby a government that has been historically and contemporarily adversarial towards you, and the majority of the citizens are adversarial towards you, and it's going to be ultimately their resources and tax dollars that they have procured that is going to give you the reparations, that the so-called reparations that you desire. And for you to think without any type of military apparatus that you're going to procure any type of funds from them, it to me is fundamentally baseless historically, and it's not logical. So again, you can say that we're delusional, which is you can say that we're delusional, which is your right. To say that, but again, historically speaking, there has been people that have gained from unification, which that's always been the case, and no people that have become unified have then after the unification become weaker. They've always become stronger, and the people that have tried to create these little smaller silos and try to lobby a government, I mean, there's no historical precedence for that. But again, you can do what you want to, and you can create your tactics the way you want to. Nobody's saying you can't.
Out of all of the accomplishments in the United States, tell me what Pan-African movement has accomplished. And don't go naming Malcolm X. Don't go naming Marcus Garvey Feld. Don't go naming Martin Luther King. Don't go naming Thurgood Martin.
Martin Luther King.
Don't tell me. Listen. What has Pan-African?
So now you're in your emotions.
Give me an accomplishment.
You're in your
emotions if you're not going to
accomplishments. I will give you an accomplishment
in the United States.
The accomplishment of Pan-Africanism is us getting back all of our countries when the Russians help us out by giving us weapons.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, he's actually on the
See, that's my point. That's the reason why I said, man, this is a dead movie.
I can't even finish. You guys
y'all not even listening to what he's saying. He gave a historical example.
Yes.
Back. I asked a question about what has Pan-African
and
accomplished in the United
Malcolm X,
States, and he goes on and says
hello,
they've gotten back all the countries. What
But no,
country?
but you have to substantive again. The Pan-Africanism is not about accomplishing anything in the United States.
Then what's it about? What's it about then?
Can I answer your question?
It's about unifying. It's about unifying black people based upon shared experience, shared culture, shared genetics.
It's about
and global. It's having a global block, to make the Africa as the homeland, whatever. Or if you don't want to use that colloquialism or that term, is fine. But the landmass that's formerly known today as Africa, a power base. Majority of black Africans.
I can answer that question. I can tell you some things that Pan-Africans did in America.
So if you're a Pan-Africanist, why are you against reparations for Black Americans?
Because it's not it's not realistic. Like it's not realistic, and to me, it's cowardly. It's cowardly.
Have an organization called ADOS that's making that. That's actually making that happen. So I don't understand why you,
brother, y'all are not making nothing happen. With no ADOS is not making nothing happen, brother. The precedence has already been set. The precedence has already been set by Congress that if it's not a direct harm to direct harm to your ancestors is not a direct harm to you. They already set that precedent when it came on the floor. There's been precedence on the state level.
Prosperity preacher in church. All y'all do is just sell feel good stuff. That's all y'all do.
Nah, it's not. But again, I just made a substantive legislative argument to go against what you're saying, and then you go back to saying it's something.
Hey,
else.
guys, let me pass the mic. Cashanova, go ahead, Cashanova.
Didn't have too much substance to it.
Cashanova, mute yourself. Cashanova.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Peace to everybody on the panel. Sound like y'all getting it in today. I wanted to add to the conversation. I hear a lot that's going on. I hear a lot of things that are true and a lot of things that are false. Now I hear this brother, he from Chicago like me. And he said that you can't be Pan-African and be American, or real Pan-Africans don't claim to be American. That's false, bro. I'm Pan-African to the bone, and I'm also American, because this the land that I know, and I love this land. I may not like the people who run the country necessarily, but I love the land. So I think two things can be true at the same time. And I feel like the people who don't believe in Pan-Africanism as a method to project us into the future, they can just leave that be. I don't understand why so many people who aren't Pan-Africans come into Pan-African spaces. And it's almost like they're trying to convince people not to be Pan-African.
Hey, Cash, if I can interject real quick, everybody's welcome to this space to give their opinion, but go ahead.
10-4.
Dinus likes the comment.
I don't ascribe to the FBA thing. Not because I don't have a sense of pride in myself as a Black American or an African American, but because I'm not gonna follow a high school dropout who created a term and expect us to rally behind it. If I'm gonna follow anybody, it's gonna be somebody who's intellectually capable and not a high school dropout scammer. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, brother, in regards to you saying that no real Pan-Africanist is going to identify as American, that from what I've seen, people that are serious, that would be the sentiment, because identifying as an American, it's a fundamental contradiction, because the American ethos is diametrically opposed to anything that Pan-Africanism espouses. So that's my thing. You can't. You would be working against yourself fundamentally if you tried to work for America's agenda and then a Pan-Africanist agenda.
Yeah, and going back to what the
only way. Can I want to add
Hold on. One mic. I got to pass it to Kwame. Go ahead, Kwame. Kwame's been waiting.
All right.
Yeah, I wanted to just first name off some things that Pan Africans have accomplished here in America. You have the Pan African Chamber of Commerce. You have the Black Real Estate Black Black Real Estate Alliance, African Leadership Academy, Tabo Foundation, Af- Africa Education Foundation, Sankofa STEM Academy. Okay, that's a bank, that's a real estate company, and those are teaching schools that are STEM foundation. What have FBA accomplished or established besides the hookah bar in the last 7 years? You've been talking about reparations for the last 7 years, yet we don't find no docket number, no lawsuit, anything pertaining to anything regarding reparation. All FBA has been is just been a xenophobic hate cult with nothing accomplished. Uh, and as far as lineage-based reparations, you're wasting your time. Okay, that's a proxy for race. You could look up Prop 209 and it would literally tell you that. So all this that Caribbeans and Africans are trying to tether onto some non-existent reparation when you don't even have a docket number on file. It's just ludicrous.
I disagree with you about the race thing.
Well, you
Exactly.
could look up Prop 209 and you could and find me a docket from ADOS or FBA that they
So
have
what
a
makes you think that
existing lawsuit.
lineage-based reparations cannot be passed? I mean, there
I
was a
just told
specific
you,
harm. We have to
you could look
specify
up
the harm,
Prop
not
209
specify race.
and it's a
I
proxy for race.
I
You
can
can't
say
get around
something.
that.
It's not a
So
proxy for race. It's not a
California didn't
lineage
pass
is not
the
a
lineage.
proxy for race. Race is
California
about
didn't
skin
pass
color.
the lineage.
You
The
you
lineage
could look up what's
reparation.
a proxy for race. No matter if you try to use ancestry, lineage, or any of those type of terms, it's still a proxy for race. And
No, it's
don't
not.
try to bring up, and you can't bring Japanese or Jewish in the equation, because those people was directly direct directly after the fact, or they was living descendant. Slavery ended in 1865. There is nobody alive that was affected by slavery, not one.
Yeah,
So
and the
We're
older sister,
descendants
the
of those
elder
people.
sister
So
in
yes, like
Tulsa couldn't even get
we did it all,
reparations,
man.
and she was affected. She
brother
was affected by
brother, the only
what
people
happened
that
in
got
Tulsa,
paid
and
for
she couldn't get
lineage based
reparations.
because there was a direct descendant. You can't go to no courtroom 10 generations later saying that we was affected by slavery. That's
Exactly.
not how it works.
We can pull
That's
up
why
records. We can
wait
pull
wait
up
wait let
records
me
that
let me lay my plan. That's why what the AU, CARICOM, and Kroger is doing, pursuing for crimes against humanity, because there is no timetable on that. And that's the only thing that's gonna work.
That is more effective. And plus,
Exactly.
you have to understand
Wait, let me just lay my
AU have
plan.
power. Hold on,
Hold
let me
on,
just
let me
land
just lay
this.
my plan.
Oh my God, I'm gonna lose.
The AU, CARICOM, and African Union has over 70 countries supporting. ADOS and FBA don't even have the government support. You have no
That's what I was
support.
trying to say. So
You have
basically,
no
even if
support.
they have to push it to the
You
world,
have no leverage. You have no resources. And like the brother said, you have no standing military. So you think the American government gonna cave into some people that want reparation from 10, 15 generations? That's not gonna happen. And you have no countries backing you, not one. And I'll land right there.
basically
we
they're
don't need
gonna
a country to
deny.
back us.
They're gonna deny it. But once it goes to the UN, now you have representatives. You have over 50.
Anybody on the
We don't
panel
need
could
to go
look
to
up
no world court or no shit like
anybody
that.
could
We
look
need
up
to
Prop
simply
209 and the Equal
hold the
Protection
U.S.
Clause,
government
and that
accountable for
would
what
tell
it
you.
has done
Let me
to
ask
our
you a
people.
question.
How are you going to hold the U.S.? What apparatus do you have to hold the U.S.
Hold
government
on, let me
accountable?
just say something, please. Let me say
Y'all are
something.
delusional, man.
Hey, brother,
No,
let
I
me
think
say
you're all
something.
delusional in the Pan-Africanist movement because y'all think that we have to just somehow be this just one black group that just that they don't even consider themselves to be. So like, why am I
I'll
just
just give
saying?
an example.
You are entitled to that opinion, brother.
Of two standing organizations that are fighting for reparations for black folks everywhere, but you, as an FBA person, don't want to be a part of that. You would benefit from that, from any benefits that would derive from those efforts, but you don't want to be a part of that.
Just like the guy from Chicago, the brother from Chicago that said he is Pan-African, but he's American to the bone. It's you guys that always say that the FBA doesn't want to be a part of this. I grew up at a time when Pan-African was big back in the late 1960s and early 1970s. It was being talked about in my high school. ninth grade as a 13, 14-year-old boy. We were talking about this stuff. All right. So it's not that it's that you guys want to say it's A and B and the two cannot join or intersect at some point. And that's not true.
They're fundamentally diametrically opposed ideologies. You can't espouse no American ethos and then be Pan-Africanism. I mean, be a Pan-Africanist, because the two ideologies or the two beings, they contradict each other fundamentally. The goals and what it takes is the same.
That's not true.
Yes, me personally, I'm definitely being exclusionary.
Y'all are against American reparations. No wonder y'all.
No, it's not about against it, bro. Y'all can nobody's saying.
Let me just finish my statement, bro.
You never.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear you speaking, brother. My
you
bad.
never get reparation in no federal court.
I'm saying
Never.
so basically what you saying
How
is
so?
every
How so?
Pan-African on the planet can be comfortable.
I
and they
just
can
told
be
you, look up Prop
proud of
209, and that will tell you everything you know why you would never get reparation in a federal
That's why
court.
we shouldn't include race. We should include only lineage.
You can't
Wait,
get
the brother Costa was speaking, y'all. The brother Costa was speaking.
It's always an issue.
Can you repeat that, brother? Are you there?
Hey, can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying here is it sounds better if you guys join the Pan-African movement, because these people have a representative in the United Nations. So if the United States deny your reparation, guess what? We can take it up to the UN, all the way to International Criminal Court. You see, there are institutions in place for you to get your money, but you need people on your side. You need countries, sovereign countries. So with Africa alone, they have all the South American countries on their side. They have some of their other friends all over the world that can represent them.
And which of those African countries are you talking about? The African countries that sold us off, or the African countries that that didn't sell us off? Which ones?
You are ignorant. No African country sold you off. That statement is idiotic.
Look it up. That's the history. That's the history of how we got.
There was no modern African country that was around during the slave trade. That's idiotic.
That didn't exist.
Well, it didn't exist, but those are the current names of those places.
Those are tribes.
Let me kill this,
tribes
man.
Yeah, but they came from those countries, the Ivory Coast.
They didn't come from those countries. They're modern concepts.
But Andre, let me tell you this, right? Those who.
But how come our DNA goes to those specific countries when we take the DNA test?
Bro, y'all be idiots, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Specific tribes of those countries, bro.
Am I speaking to my
y'all FBA people be idiots, man.
I don't subscribe to FBA, but I call myself ADOS. But go ahead.
There was no such thing as a
Hey, guys, I gotta read these super chats. Detail, thank you for $2 holla. You have to have proof of lineage. Chanel Harry 66376, thank you for $4.99 holla. Some of the men on the panel try to speak for Caribbean people and don't know Caribbean chattel slavery. Pick up a book on Caribbean chattel slavery. PCH Rides 1559, thank you for $10 holla. The African Methodist AME Church. Worked out of the Free African Society, FAS, which Richard Allen, Absalom Jones, and other free black established in Philadelphia in 1778. We are African.
And the Caribbean slavery was worse than
over
ours.
there to Africa, say for instance, if I go over there to Africa right now, right? Do you think they're going to see me as African or see me as American?
They're going to see you as American because you speak English and you have American culture.
Yeah, no, they're gonna say Yankee or
if you bring your ass over here to Chicago right now, if you come over here on Chicago and walk up King Drive right now, I guarantee you they won't see your black ass as a brother. They'll see you as a op. They'll see you as a lame, somebody, a goofy to rob. So what are you talking about?
That's true.
I'm talking about in the context of going to another country, not being within the country. Of course, Chicago, some of that is crime ridden. But my thing is that I'm talking about in terms of countries. If I go over there to certain parts of Africa, they're not going to say brother and sister. Oh, you
If
want
you
to
go
Actually, in
to
some
certain
countries, they
areas
will.
in your country, if you
Actually,
go
in
to
some
an
countries,
area
they
in your
will.
city, they won't
You
call you
just
brother
missed
sister.
the return.
Just say your
I
boy
could take you to
brother
Ghana and
sister.
they'll do
some
that.
of those places are
Ghanaian
crime infested, of
return. What was
course.
the Ghanaian
I
campaign
could take you to
from
Ghana. I
last
could
year,
take you to
son?
Sierra Leone. They'll do that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
They were
Which means
watching
certain
you
I'm
parts
guys
of
pretty
the
sure
country
there are
should
some
open up.
countries in
2
Africa
years ago.
where people
Bro,
will
you got
see you as a
got
brother.
direct descendants in Liberia right now. You talking about they not gonna see you as African? Like this is a complete joke. These
Yeah, it's
FBAs
Right.
don't
No,
make
they're
ignorance.
not going
no
to see us as
Ignorance.
African
they don't
because
make
they
no
know that
sense at all.
Have
And you
because
said
we
you
were
were
not
Ado
born over there. I was not
Renaissance
born over there, so I don't consider myself African in that context.
you
But in the context of
you said
Yeah,
you
genetics
were
but
or other,
ADOS, right?
can you
Can
send me
you
a
present
picture
the
of the
docket
African
number that ADOS
Renaissance
got on file
monument
right now
built
for
for him
reparations? Name the
by
lawsuit.
Senegalese President Jonathan Wade? The African Renaissance monument was built to signal to your dumbass that Africa has its open arms waiting for you to come back, bro. See, it's total.
I don't want to
Coming
go
from a
back
place
to
of
no
total
place that
ignorance.
I've never been. I'm not going to a place I've never been.
Oh,
I'm not
so
doing that.
stay here,
Period.
Fred.
Look, don't go. Nobody's convincing you, brother. Don't go. Nobody
Hey,
cares.
guys, let me read the
If
super
y'all
chat.
want to get
Let me read the
scammed, if
super
y'all want to
chat.
get scammed or whatever, that's fine. But I'm not going to get scammed. I'm not at a part of no scamming type of
Yeah,
BS
because
or bad
black
business
people in the
practices.
United States have
But
never scammed your black ass,
You
right?
getting scammed out.
Dummy.
Shaka, get that
Nobody-
man talking points, man.
Y'all
Get that
got
man
bad
talking
character
points.
syndrome.
how come y'all don't come down hard on the Somalis that recently said that they don't really classify themselves as
I
black,
don't get no
and they
shit
are?
about no Somalis, bro.
Which
I don't
Somali
care about
enslaved
them
But they're
you?
niggas,
part of
bro.
the
Which
continent. They're part of
Somali
the continent you
redlined you?
praise so much.
Which Somali sold you drugs?
They live in
Which
Minnesota.
No,
Somali imprisoned you?
They live
The
in
answer is
no, I
none.
didn't know. I'm not talking about them imprisoning me. It's not. It's nothing with that. I'm talking about in terms of blackness. When you say that, like all of them call themselves black, Somalis do not consider themselves black. So explain
Where are
to
you
me.
getting?
Us.
Who
We
said
don't care
everybody? Who
about
said
them other
everybody on the
Africans.
continent calls
They
themselves black?
We don't give a
Right.
shit.
Y'all be
Y'all
making up these
basically
straw man
insinuated that
fallacies.
earlier.
Right.
Y'all said that basically that the
Brother,
Africans is over there. They
do
consider
No,
themselves
everybody
nobody
black.
basically said anything like that.
Slavery.
in
I said they
America
go
call
by
themselves
tribes and
black?
they go by
Black.
nationality
No, but
or nation.
Somalians are a totally
Nigga, we
different.
don't care about them.
Yeah,
Wait,
they're not even.
It's
do
simple.
everybody in
Simple
America
matter.
call themselves black?
If they
Listen,
identify
can I
as
get 1 minute? I just came up here. Let me get 1 minute to
Most
just
Yeah,
say
most
yeah, yeah.
black people call
Go ahead,
themselves
niggas
Taylor.
be
black.
Go
saying
ahead,
they
Taylor.
terrorists.
No, God, let Taylor Supreme talk, and then we're
yeah.
gonna close it out. Go ahead.
Listen, I really don't want to fight against my FBA brothers. I consider you brothers, right? I'm from Barbados. You call me a tether, right? But the problem I have with you guys is that your history, your historical interpretation is totally wrong. And then you're proud about being ignorant of the history. Because listen, the national borders of the United States have never prevented Black immigrants, Black people from the Caribbean from coming in and out of this country. I'm talking about go back to the Revolutionary War. When the British came over to fight against the United States, guess who was fighting alongside those British? Black Caribbean folks, because the Caribbean was largely a part of the Empire of Britain. War of 1812, when they invaded Baltimore, went up that river. It was whatever the name damn river is that goes up to Baltimore. The first troops on the ground were Black troops from the Caribbean fighting under the banner of the British, guaranteeing you freedom. In the Civil War, there were Black West Indian soldiers who fought and died alongside the 54th Regiment and every other regiment of Black soldiers, came down from Canada, came down from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Black mariners from the Caribbean and some from Africa were constantly going in and out of U.S. ports.
But I haven't heard anybody deny that. I haven't heard anybody deny that.
The FBA and ADOS claim is based on the idea that Black Caribbean folks coming here to hurt them are the primary people putting them down, when the history shows the exact opposite. That Black people from the Caribbean, Bob Marley, Black from Africa, Kwame Nkrumah, even Fela Kuti are on record as showing nothing but admiration, praise, and love for African American people and the warmth and generosity of our African American brothers.
And most Black Americans have done the
Those are
same.
anecdotes, and
Yeah,
I don't have an issue
Malcolm
with
X
those
was half
anecdotes.
Grenadian.
Man, look, brother, please stop trying to appeal to them. It's not gonna be effective, bro. Like they have their mind set up that they're gonna beg for reparations. To let them do it.
True, but it's like Malcolm X was a perfect representative of that. He was half Caribbean. Like, what are we talking about?
I agree with you, brother. FBA is a they're a MAGA supporting xenophobic group. It's no need to even dialogue with some of these people anymore.
Yeah, that's just a waste of time, man. Let them do them, man.
That's
It's
why you
literally a waste
guys
of time.
lose on your talking points because you always revert to something like that.
Bro,
Most MAGA, most people have never voted for Donald Trump. I don't get you inserting this.
I mean,
Trump
I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
MAGA
Tariq
party.
did defend Donald Trump at times. He did do that.
Brother,
So that's not an
hold
issue.
up. You can't be no Pan-Africanist and no MAGA supporter, brother. That's what I'm saying. Like these things are fundamentally, ideologically, diametrically opposed. There's no
Yeah, he
that
did
can't
say certain
exist.
things like that. So that's my disagreement with him is that
the
he kind of.
Democratic Party is roses either. They suck too.
No, I'm not saying neither. You can't identify with the American power structure and then be a Pan-Africanist. Like
100%.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but the host is kind of what you just described because he supports Trump and he's a Pan-Africanist. Like, so can you explain that?
I mean, that's a fundamental contradiction.
That's another.
Well, I mean, that's what he is. He supports Trump.
I mean, that discussion can be had. I would openly have a discussion.
Hey, I was
even
Gucci
was named Brandon, right? You know, he's both.
Listen,
he considers himself to be.
Black thought.
Well, listen, if you can be in America
right, which lends itself to black conservative thought, I get why some people are Afro pessimists. It's all good, but that's a different debate.
Hey, I was in Uganda, and when I was in Uganda, I asked them, "Do you guys celebrate Kwanzaa?" And this was a government official. He was like, "That's some shit you Americans made up." So tell me,
is it any different than Christmas or Hanukkah? Those are made up holidays.
Yeah, I mean, it is something that we made up.
All I'm pointing out is their mindset.
And I'm Caribbean and I celebrate.
And I'll be honest, I've never celebrated Kwanzaa. Honestly,
I mean, we make up all type of stuff. What are we talking about?
Pan-African.
I celebrate Kwanzaa. I love Kwanzaa.
It was created by a Pan-African
You're
guy.
a goofy if you celebrate Kwanzaa.
What's the problem? What is wrong with Kwanzaa? How does it hurt you?
No, so I'm a goofy if the guy said whoever celebrates that is a goofy, and that's a Pan-African that said that. But
yeah, they talking about
trying to take something.
Hold on.
You guys are lost.
Hey, the guy.
It just sounds like you just emotional. That's what it sounds. Sounds like you just want to throw shots at anything.
No.
I mean, you can't just wear
it gotta be one mic, man. Everybody's speaking at the same time. We need to have the quorum again.
Hey guys,
you can't just wear dashiki and call yourself a Pan-Africanist because how do you know that the people that you come from wore dashiki?
Ado's brother, can you tell me the reparation docket that you have on file? If you Ado,
can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So you're saying that lineage-based reparations is not possible because it's a process of race, which makes no sense because they excluded the race.
All right, let the brother that's speaking, that dual speak.
Yeah, what I was trying to say, just because you want to go talk to some of those incompetent ministers down there in Africa.
Now your own people are incompetent. Okay.
Yes, those ones right now in power, I'm telling you, I'm African, they are puppets. These
and
guys
there's major youth movements throughout Africa against the leadership.
Well, how they going to help you in the Pan-African movement then?
We are cleaning them up right now. Ibrahim Traore is cleaning them up. General Chiani is cleaning them up. Asumi Goeta is cleaning them up. We are cleaning all of them up. These people are taken from the village.
Okay. When you clean them up, you come back to the United States and talk to us, okay?
They give them education, and they said, oh, now you can be a puppet. So just because you want to go talk to a puppet, that doesn't mean that's all of them.
When you Pan-African finish with that, come back to the United States and tell us what you're going to do. But right now,
we're not trying to tell y'all nothing, man. Stay in America and beg for reparations. Nobody cares what y'all doing, man.
Hey guys, let me read. I gotta read these super chats. Pape 5602, thank you for $5 holla. I'm super black and a first generation American from Senegal. Even they see me as an American, and I speak Wolof fluently. 401 Orisha, thank you for 49 holla. The notion that Africans sold their ancestors is made up propaganda by the colonizers to avoid being held accountable for reparations. The ancestors were brainwashed via religion first. Funny enough, we still retain the same beliefs. Look at churches. JC, thank you for 499 holla. To the FBA who said that he won't be going to Africa to get scammed. FBAs get scammed every day by other FBAs. Example, Tariq Nasheed at Cornell.
I have a book.
And hold on, I'm not done. Amar Damboya, thank you for the $5 holla. FBA, White Daddy is Donald Trump. He got you where he want y'all. Okay.
Okay, I have a book that was written in Sierra Leone by a Sierra Leonean that documents this how active the tribes were in Africa in the slave trade. So don't talk to me about
if I can interject real quick.
How they were not in
hold on, let me. I got goodness, man. Y'all long with it. No, but I would have to say this: Africans are definitely complicit in the slave trade. We gotta stop sugarcoating and romanticizing the slave trade as if just white people just bum rushed the continent and just started taking Africans. Africans were definitely complicit. Some were. All right, Invisible Man, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, but you don't see how bullcrap that excuse is. You got tribal warfare here in the United States. We could easily point to the Bloods and Crips. We easily point to all sorts of tribal violence.
Comparisons. Come on.
The BDs and the GDs. The BDs and the GDs.
Yeah, I mean that mindset hasn't gone anywhere.
Hey, so
in our people, it's just evolved.
I'm from Sierra Leone, right? So what
and
you're
nobody
saying,
denied Africans was complicit in the slaves. Nobody denying that. You said countries. There was no countries at that time.
It's not African, it's human.
There were kingdoms at that time. They weren't countries, they were kingdoms.
And Jerry Rawlings Ghana was
well, in Sierra Leone, let me explain to you now. In Sierra Leone, those kingdoms that you are talking about, they have subgroups that were haters or adversaries towards those kingdoms. And when the white folks come in, they use those little tiny groups that were subdued by the kingdom to go after the kingdom and then start kidnapping those people who were in the townships, kidnapping farmers, kidnapping fishermen, and then they
how you gonna go after a kingdom that no longer exists?
Listen. Our host already explained to you, so stop trying to just minimize the.
What kind of panel is this?
Just stop.
I cannot explain and
just stop it,
man.
Stop it. There's too much proof on the continent. There's too much proof on the continent.
What I'm saying,
they even enslave each other on the continent.
Good luck finding the Oyo Kingdom or the Dahomey Kingdom. Good luck.
Right here with you, because when the kingdom got tired, they rounded up all of those criminals who were capturing people, and then they send them over here too. So the people that you're complaining that they sold you, they're right here with you. Maybe you might be one of them. You might be part of that lineage.
Okay,
you might be part of that lineage.
So now you're gonna come over here and start accusing Americans. I mean,
no, I know this.
And you want to deny the fact that you guys weren't very active in it. Come on. I mean, the host already said I'm finished with that argument. I am finished with that argument right there because it holds no weight.
I'm telling you my history. Those people were rounded up, and then they were given a test of their own medicine.
I don't understand. You FBA speak so vividly about reparation with no docket number, nothing on file.
Going
back, you act like that. Yeah, act like this reparation is like a month away. You have nothing on file.
What are you talking about?
You have nothing on file.
No court.
I mean, you're saying that we don't have genealogical records that prove that.
You have no lawsuit on file. Y'all been out for 8 years with no accomplishments. Not one.
There may not be a lawsuit, but there are, people doing the work within their
Where?
They got chapters. ADOS have different chapters that they.
Where is the tangibles? Where's the reparation that y'all been crying about for 8 years now? Where's the lawsuit? You've been out for 8 years now with nothing on the table.
Wait. And how long has Pan-African been around?
With a track record of success and tangible achievements. The Trans-African Organization, led by Randall Robinson from Virginia, right, was incredibly important to the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa.
He sure was. He sure
Nelson
was.
Mandela. So
Yes,
that is
he
an
was.
example of Pan-African cooperation. That is just
I don't
one.
think Randall Robinson called himself a Pan-African.
He
In
called
fact,
Kwame
he
and Nkrumah made a whole
He
country
called
all
organization
Pan-Africanism.
He called it a different
Pan-Africanism
movement. He
has
wasn't
successfully
Pan-African.
made countries. What
I
has
mean, you guys
FBA
want
done
to
in the
jam
last
off of
8
other
years
people's
since their
achievements.
existence?
You guys haven't done anything. That's not what Randall Robinson wasn't about. That sure he was instrumental in stopping apartheid in South Africa, along with Nelson Mandela. Sure, he was, but he was not Pan-African. So don't try to adopt him and say that's one of your achievements.
Do you know where he retired to and lived out the rest of his life? In St. Kitts in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So he lived the Pan-African life, fighting for Africa, living in the Caribbean, being from the United States. You need to
Just
go
like
read
Assata
the text
Shakur, who died
My
in
man,
Cuba.
I'm in the Caribbean right now.
You need to read the reckoning.
right now, and I'm about
Well,
to
they
go
need to
over
kick
to
your ass out
Belize.
with that
What
anti-black.
the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Kick
Yes, they
me
do.
out.
Listen, you my brother, but I will fight my brother when they get out of line. And some of y'all.
I'm out of line, but you haven't said anything of any validity, any fact-based
We just were discussing what I brought up about Randall Robinson that you
and I agreed with you.
But
Did I not agree with you? Did I not agree with you? I said he was not a Pan-African. I agreed with you. That is not. He was not a Pan-African.
Pan-Africanism in action.
That was the issue that everybody around the world was saying. We have to stop this apartheid. Right, because they looked at the civil rights movement in the United States and said, "What did Mandela?"
Okay, are you protesting Are you protesting right now for Congo or the Sudan right now?
Me, yes.
Okay, so prove it. What have you done and spoke out against the Congo, Sudan, or anything going on in Africa?
You talking to me?
I'm gonna
or
just
to
show
the
you how
FBA
you are
brother?
lying. Nobody.
Are you talking to me or to the FBA brother?
The cult member.
Okay, FBA, that's to you.
Look, okay, FDA, look, I'm not pushing for anything outside of this country.
Okay then.
Oh, that is anti-black.
Wow.
Anti-black? I mean,
whoa!
I'm an American. I am an American.
So
I'm going to fight. Listen, I'm going to fight for the rights of Black Americans.
So while Randall was fighting for stuff outside of America,
I am going to fight for the rights of Black Americans, African Americans,
and white Americans, because you say you're an American.
And you ignore the legacy of Black diasporans in joining you in that fight from day one.
No, we haven't. In fact, what I said on here was that
geopolitically, you're gonna fight for America, and which is the white folks.
Did I not say Black Americans? Did I not say Black Americans?
Your name is
you see the gaslighting these Pan-Africanists always give us every time we have these conversations.
I said I'm an American. I'm gonna fight for Black Americans.
Is your address the Candyland Plantation? It sounds like it.
I mean, you're in La La Land. I mean, you have no brain cells. So, I mean,
no, brother, I'm in Miami, Florida.
I said, I am going to fight for Black Americans, right? And right now, I'm not fighting for reparations. I agree with FBA, the terminology and the lineage, but I also think that the civil rights acts and those things that were created for the term used then African Americans was specifically for those who were of enslaved backgrounds to start a trajectory in the economic system and the educational system. That's what I fight about. You can go on and you can fight in the Congo and do all this other stuff, but I myself will be fighting for kids here.
Yeah. I gotta read this super chat. We're gonna log out soon too. Let me read the super chat real quick. Some asked where Africans were during slavery to help Black Americans. Africans fought colonizers at all fronts, Arabs, Turks, Persians, and all of Europe, all hold under sanctions. All right, go ahead.
You can go to Savannah, Georgia right now and see a statue of Africans who came over and fought to free Black people. The 4 Haitian soldiers. There are numerous examples of Black people. I talked about it earlier. Maybe the old man
is disagreeing with you on that. Nobody. And you keep going back
You're
to
disagreeing with
that.
facts. I'm giving you factual examples of
I can
Pan-African
give you a
cooperation
fact
from
where
across the
Haitians say
seas.
they influenced Black Americans because of their uprising. And the
They
first
did.
uprising in this
Because they
land,
did.
the
They
first
did.
Gabriel
uprising in this
Prosper
land
and
was
Nat Turner.
in
Read
land
Julius
that was
Scott's
in
Comet
South
Wind and
Carolina.
find
In
out the
South
And how
Carolina
did
in
that work out?
1526, before United States was even a land, in the land which was South Carolina, that uprising happened before anything happened where
And
Haiti
how did that
Carolina
work
was
out?
settled
Do
by
you
the
remember?
And how
Do
did
you
that
Native
know
work out?
about the
planters
Louisiana
who brought their
revolt?
first slaves from Barbados,
And
meaning
how
that
Yeah.
and how did that work out?
Do you know anything
were from
about the
Caribbean.
Louisiana slave revolt?
The Haitian uprising was in the 1700s, and in 1526 it happened in what is now South
The
Carolina.
Haitian
Stop
Revolution
giving me
was
that.
Okay.
How did that work out?
There were
Yeah, how
other
did that
slave
work out?
revolts than that. You realize that, right?
They did not influence us. That could have had something. They came
Well,
up
you
with
have
help.
an
What I'm telling you
anti-historical view.
is
You
that
have
we
an
were fighting
ahistorical
for
view.
ourselves
You are
right
alone
here.
in that
We were
belief,
fighting
brother.
for ourselves
No,
right
you're not.
here.
That's the lie you're telling
1526.
yourself. That is
15.
ahistorical.
Oh, so the
Everyone
Black
who knows
people in
stuff
America weren't
disagrees with
fighting
you.
for themselves to
No,
free
that's not what I'm
themselves from
saying.
the
I
time
did
they
not
came
say that.
over here.
I did not say Black people in the United States were not fighting for their own freedom, but they were joined by comrades from across the Black diaspora.
Not in
And this is historical
1526.
fact.
Would look up the uprising 1526 in what is now South Carolina.
There
And
was
that
no
was
United
before
States in
anything that happened in
1526.
Haiti.
And
That
That
was the
means
how
British
did that work
colony.
out?
That
How
was
did
the
that
British
work out?
colony, brother.
oh, what happened to it? They
The
beat
United
their
States
ass,
was started
kicked
in
all the
1776.
Europeans out, and they created a settlement there before 1619 in Virginia. All right,
Okay, and
and
they
Hey,
that's
did.
what
Then
happened
why
there.
are you
okay, and
That's
complaining
what
Louisiana, we
happened
tried
there.
to take
Why are
a
you complaining
whole
for reparations
state.
from the United States? That was a British
Yeah, in the
colony
United
out there.
States,
I'm
we
not
tried to
taking
take
a
a
whole
whole
state. That's
state.
Jamestown.
So
That's
sounds like you
Jamestown,
need
and it wasn't even
Jamestown.
a state.
That was a
And back
British colony too.
1619,
So
it was
sounds
not the
like you need
United
to
States.
join
Don't
the
you
CARICOM
understand
suit
that
for
it was in
reparations. You're suing the
1776 when the
British.
United
You need
States
to do
was
so
created?
yourself.
Come on, you guys are full of it, trying to twist history.
Is it not true that the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, establishing the United States after its
That's what I
success in
just
the
said.
Revolutionary
Did I not
War?
just say
These
that?
are
Did I not
facts,
just
bro.
say that? Did I not just
You're
say
going.
that? Did
You're
I
going.
not just
Nobody's
say
You,
that?
trying
you
to
think
twist
me?
anything.
Are
Yeah,
you
That's
I'm
what
not
not.
you
giving the
keep on
Haitians
trying to
credit?
put in there. Nobody's trying to mess up anything. We're
Are you
You
trying
guys
to
are
want to
you
give you
make
more
your
information
influences of
because they're not
Pan-African.
just your
Everybody that
revolts
was
that you want
Pan-African,
to cook up.
all the way back to we can go all the way back to when the first ship arrived and they were calling themselves Pan-African. Okay, fine.
At first, I'm just going to stop talking to you and let you go build what you want to do and just go see what you do.
You guys
And
live in
let
your
y'all do
own
what y'all
mind.
want to
Listen,
do.
You guys
listen,
live in your
FBA
own
brother.
mind.
This
And
argument
we
is
have
in love.
completed a lot
I
more than y'all
desperately
have
want
completed
you to
in
be
8 years.
educated
No,
and
you
to
haven't.
rejoin the
No, you haven't.
Pan-African
Yeah,
family.
clearly we have.
That's
Here,
what
let
we
me
want.
say
so
this.
are you
My
You always got to be
grandfather,
are you
tough
my
not
love.
grandfather
giving
This
was
is
an
what it
AME
is.
minister.
Because you
All
are
right.
being
I
hard-headed
went to the
right
AME
now.
church.
So you need to
The
get your
AME
head
church
slapped up a little
has
bit
done
so that
more
the
than any
knowledge can get in
Pan-African
there.
movement that
Because
you
this
guys can talk
xenophobia that
about.
you're pressing
The
is
AME,
horrible.
the
It's horrible.
AME
It
church
goes against
has
all the
done
legacies
more
of the
for
great
the Black
African American
movement in
peoples
this
who
country
have
than any
supported the
Pan-African
Pan-African
can
movement.
say they have done. And if you dispute that, then
W.E.B. Du
you are
Bois
crazy.
is
The
sitting in his
African
grave.
Methodist
Paul
Episcopal
is
Church
sitting
has
in his
done
grave
more for Black
because he
Americans than anybody. Anybody.
okay? Why are you not giving the Haitians credit for freeing themselves from three
I did
separate
not say that.
from
I said
three?
they
If you
tried
would
to
just
influence.
listen,
I
from
said that
three,
no, because you
no,
just
wait,
twisted
and
my word. I said the Haitians
three
say that
separate
they
countries,
influenced our
the
freedom up
Spanish,
here,
the
and
French,
I
and
say
the
that
British.
there was already a revolt in 1526. I didn't say they didn't help us, but they were not the influence for the Black American slaves who were enslaved in America. Like we didn't have dog in our heart. Like we didn't have
when the
dog.
Haitians
You got
freed
this fool
themselves from
down
those
there in Florida
when
talking
the
about he'll
Haitians
fight
freed
people.
themselves
I
from those
invite
three
you to fight
countries,
anybody
and when the
in
Haitians
my
freed themselves from
background, in
those
my
three separate
family, or or anything
They
like
invited
that.
black folks from America to come to Haiti. They said if you can make it to Haiti, you were free. You were a citizen of Haiti.
Did I deny
essentially?
that? Did I even bring
Frederick
that
Douglass
up?
was
What are you
I
talking
did.
about? Did I?
I did. Because you're attempting to degrade what other black folks have done in other places, and by saying somehow that black folks in America started this and they started that, they influenced this, they influenced
Americans do.
Nothing
And you
anywhere
guys, all
that-
you do is
that
throw
would have happened from
at people
black
who
folks
claim that they have a
would have done it
lineage
without
based
black
on
Americans.
Nobody is arguing that black Americans haven't done anything. Nobody is doing that. Nobody is throwing shade at African Americans. No, we are not.
Said that I was
you
doing.
are the one denying the historical fact.
When your family can match up to my family and what we've done in the civil rights movement, let me know. Let me know. All right, let me know. Because all my family is from South Carolina and North Carolina and Georgia, and I can tell you that
when those
Stono
rebellion slaves
died in the civil rights movement,
they were trying to get
down that died in the civil rights movement. Do you? I mean, an uncle?
Yes.
Do you have people that actually in the 60s?
Definitely there in the civil rights movement. Have you ever heard?
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, do you have family? Don't come in here trying to discredit me and telling me that we have nothing to do.
I can keep on going. Have you ever heard of Ira Reid? Have you ever heard of Marcus Garvey? Have you ever heard of?
So those are your family members. Those are your I asked you.
These are black guys.
I told you that I have family. I have family that fought and died in the civil rights movement.
You're trying to imagine that the fight for freedom was only done by black Americans. And that is
Pan-Africans, all you want to do is shut everything else down as if the world revolves around you. You did not, because you have not even answered the question as to whether or not you have had any family that was in the civil rights movement. You don't have any family that was in the civil rights movement. Your family hasn't done anything for civil rights. They have not died. They didn't get hung. They didn't get poisoned. They didn't get shot.
Yes, we did.
I said you personally. You personally. So
you personally did not either. You personally did not either.
I just told you. Hung, shot,
listen,
poison.
when I moved to this country in 1985, I'm an immigrant. You call me a tether, right? I was arrested.
You in here talking about this? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you in here arguing with me about what my family did, what my family did in America for civil rights and for the black people of America? What are you talking about? What? And that's the reason FBA is so pissed off at somebody like you. You come over here and you want to say that you moved here in 1985 and your family did something for America. You didn't do anything for America. You had nothing to do with anything for America. I had a grandfather that was in the AME church in South Carolina. I had an uncle who was the first elected to a school board in Michigan that was poisoned and killed. I had another relative who was hung. You come over here and you want to argue in 1985 you had some shit to do with what's going on in America. That is why FBI came about, because I got direct families, recent families, uncles that died in the civil rights movement. And you want to bring up this bullshit and tell people that FBA is wrong, Pan-African is right, and you have had nothing to do with America. Not one goddamn thing.
And yes, I moved there in 1985, and that changes nothing about anything that I said.
Not one thing.
The only thing that changes is the
they're not in solidarity with us when they get here. So it's like, explain that though, because they are more about success when they get here, or more about getting money.
That is a generalization, my brother. That is a generalization.
Most of them do come over here for that. Some of them might come over here in solidarity, but most of them do not come over here in solidarity. Let's just tell that.
I didn't know your mind worked like that, where you could magically just create the majority of everything. You don't know anything. That's the point.
People believe.
Brother, let me say this to you. Listen,
you lost already being over here talking about you helped out America. You know what? Go and you want to tell me to go back to where I'm from, and you want to claim that you're living in Florida, so you're living in Florida. I don't care if you're living in Florida. You are not from the United States of America. You haven't done one damn thing to help out the black people, the kids in Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore, LA. You haven't done one thing.
You think because
you haven't done one thing.
here
thing.
that makes what you say better
You
than
have not
somebody
done
else's.
one
That is the
thing.
epitome of
I can tell you,
ignorance.
my father was
All
the
I
first
want
black
to share
principal in
facts
Detroit,
about
the
black
first black high
diasporan
school principal in Detroit.
cooperation,
You have not
and
done
you
one
are rejected
damn
because
thing.
you were
You
born here.
haven't done one damn
I've
thing but come
a
over here
lot
and
more than
leech
you.
off of us,
I've
and then
done a
want to
lot
tell us
more
you
than your
got some
crybaby
accomplishments
dumbass.
that don't amount to shit. Don't amount
Okay,
to a
Uncle
hell of
Stephen.
beans.
Okay, Uncle Stephen, go back to
Uncle
Candyland.
Stephen.
Go suck
Uncle
on some
Stephen. Hey,
licorice.
no, you
And
go
let the
back to
people learn
Trinidad
real
or
black
whatever
history.
island you
Okay?
said you're
Learn
from.
about
Brother, you said
black.
you in the Caribbean right now. You contradicting yourself though. That's my thing.
I go back and forth. I am not from the Caribbean. My family is from South Carolina. Stop the bullshit.
Nah, but you just told him to leave though, and you in the
I did tell him
Caribbean.
to leave because he wants to say that he's done something for America. I gave my family lineage. I tell you, there's blood in the soil on my family. Hung, poisoned, shot for the civil rights movement. The AME ministers. This guy comes over and he wants to tell me that I got my stuff wrong because I want to fight for black Americans and because I'm not inclusive in Pan-African, but I do agree with what they're trying to do. But I also agree with what the FBA lineage is trying to do. Take your silly asses and shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna tell you the wrong
Like
experiment.
ain't nobody
The
finna
wrong
engage in
experiment. You being born in the United States doesn't make
cussing
you
and
any more
everything.
right than anybody else.
Who do you
need to
think
learn
you
some
are?
history,
Who
brother.
do you think you are? History. I gave you history. You want to
need to
talk
learn
about Haiti?
history,
You tried to
not
discount
your
what I
own
said
version of
about the
bull
South
crap.
Carolina uprising in 1526. Look it up. Look it up. You want to discount that because Haitians have been
No,
saying
I have not
that they
discounted any rebellion on this soil. You're the one discounting the legacy of black diaspora cooperation and the fight for black freedom in this country.
said I
That's
agreed
the only
with
thing
it
I've come up here
all.
to tell
I
you about.
agreed with it all, and I countered that, and I said we have had the dog mentality the entire time. We don't need anybody else to come over here and get the dog in us because
Man, ain't no dog mentality. Y'all chose Martin Luther King. Y'all chose Martin Luther King, Whitney Young over Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. Ain't no dog mentality, man. Y'all are docile.
My mother's best friend was
makes one an
Malcolm X.
automatic hero.
I
How do
know
you
Betty
explain Clarence
Shabazz.
Thomas
Betty
and Fifth
Shabazz
Chapter?
went to church
How
with
do you
my
explain
mother.
Clarence
You
Thomas and
guys
Fifth
always
Chapter?
want to talk about name one thing that, oh, you want to beat Malcolm X. I was on the shoulders of my father, sure, at the King March in Detroit before he went to D.C. But I was also at the mosque where Malcolm X was. We passed it every day. As I said, my mother was best friends in elementary school. Do you know Betty Shabazz went to Bethel AME Church in Detroit? She went to Northern High School with my mother. You guys need to stop trying to cap on bullshit.
That has nothing to do with having the quote unquote dog in you, bro. African Americans are docile, man. Stop, bro. Ain't no dog. Y'all, that's why y'all are on here begging, trying to galvanize the beg for reparations instead of taking it. Y'all are no, y'all don't have no dog in y'all.
You don't fight here in America. You want to fight. You want to fight all around the world. You tried to
Nah,
fight all around the world.
I want to fight my enemy wherever it's at. I want to fight my enemy wherever it's at. I'm not begging. I'm not begging for crumbs. I'm not begging for crumbs for my enemy.
Nobody's begging for anything, bro. Nobody's
Yes,
begging
you
for
are,
anything.
brother. Yes, you are.
Nobody's begging for anything.
Yes, you are. That's your whole premise.
And as long as you allow,
that's not the premise of what we're saying. We're saying is the debt is over.
No, but again, if you can't enforce the debt, you can't enforce the debt to be paid. Therefore, you're begging.
That's not begging.
Any if the IRS had no apparatus or any means to make people pay their debts, then they would just be functionally begging people for their tax revenue.
Nobody's begging for money. That's based off of the harm that was done to our people. So the fact that you're framing it that
if
way,
you have no apparatus to collect the debt, you're begging.
Black Americans in this country, you only believe in the justice of Africans over there in that continent.
Nah, it's not. No. That's not a substantive argument, and I'll never make that
That's why
statement.
y'all are against Adolf's people is because it does not align with this
we are
black
not
Islam.
against Adolf and
That's not at
FBA.
all true.
You are our
Y'all
brothers.
are against
Your
Adolf. Y'all are against
lineage
Adolf
That's
because
not at all true.
I'm indifferent towards them. I'm not against them or for them. I don't care what they do.
You told us that we could not even be a part of Pan-Africans. Don't talk about now you're
Nobody
indifferent.
told you that.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. You're not.
No, that's
In my
not true.
opinion. In my opinion, no, you're not Pan-African. You can't be ADOS and Pan-Africanist or FBA and Pan-Africanist. And that's why I said I'm indifferent because I don't care what y'all do. That's y'all business.
So now you're trying to use euphemistic terms as we go about this conversation. Okay.
I mean,
No, I'm not using euphemistic terms. I'm not using euphemistic terms.
I see you getting weak. I see you.
Nah, it's not weak. Brother, how is me saying I don't care what y'all do? Using a euphemistic term and saying I'm indifferent. I don't care what y'all do.
I tell you what. I tell you what. Us black people in America will continue to drive the culture around the world. Us black Americans will continue to fight for the civil rights that cause everybody else to have civil rights around the world.
Whether you accept our help or not.
Then you come over here, Mr. Caribbean, and I bet you put black down on your application for your university, for your job, and everything else. So what are you doing? What are you doing here? You have done absolutely nothing. You have done absolutely nothing. Your family hasn't done anything. You have done nothing. Nothing, not anything but
so what happened in Cobra? What happened? That was a Pan-Africanist reparationist movement. What happened in Cobra? Since y'all Pan-Africanists talk so much about Pan-Africanism being the solution, explain.
And Cobra pushed the cart down the line and got us to where we are. They helped.
Has it
That's true. That's not true because they haven't done anything to move the needle as much as y'all are saying that they are. Because I mean, it's just a Pan-Africanist mess that they left.
Why are you shitting on Cobra?
Man, because they premise makes them do that.
Why is my boy shitting on Martin Luther King when Martin Luther King was able to get the 1965 Civil Rights Act?
Man, forget Martin Luther King.
See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
Well,
forget Martin Luther King.
So-called FBA brother. I'm not saying that.
What's
the
that?
guy who's saying that is another FBA brother.
He's not. He's Pan-African. What are you talking about? The guy is Pan-African. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not FBA, brother.
Well, look, I know you're not representing.
Was your lineage not FBA or ADOS
I don't. Those terms are fake. I'm an African American by colloquialism.
You can listen to his accent and tell he's not from America. You can listen to his accent.
Who accent?
You.
All right, man. I don't got that to prove to you, brother. Hey, what are you?
I was born in Alabama.
You don't even know what you're talking about,
man.
What to say about that? That's how I know that the lineage is fake. If you can't identify an African American, quote unquote, then
where's your family from? Go back to your grandfather, great grandfather. Where are they from?
Brother, listen, brother. I don't gotta substantiate myself to you. Who are you? Like I don't care what your opinion is of where I'm from. I know where I'm from. I don't care what you talking about, man.
You get pro, so you don't want to tell us. So you're calling.
Man, look, bro. Look, all I got is, bro. Listen, bro. Man, your business, man. Man, your business, man.
Actually, let me tag that one.
Who you are.
I can actually tell you who I am because my whole lineage comes from Alabama, and I know the actual.
I asked the guy that says he does.
I know everything, but I'm not. Bro, who are you? Who are you for me to detail my lineage to you, man? My quote unquote lineage to you, man. That's
discussion about Black Americans and what.
Again, but I don't have to substantiate. I told you I told you I'm quote unquote African American. But besides that, I'm not substantiating anything towards you. Who are you?
I didn't ask you to substantiate. I just asked.
No, you are asking me to substantiate because you're asking me where I'm from in my lineage, in my quote unquote lineage.
You're not American.
All right, man. Okay. That just shows how baseless the quote unquote lineage is because you can't even identify. So
you weren't born in America.
I bet if we asked you some deep questions, you couldn't even give us some historical.
Nah, bro. Listen, I'm not, like I said, I'm not substantiating myself to you, man. Who are you?
Tell us, are they from a small town, a big town in the South, or are you guys from? Are you from someplace else? Let us know. Give us something, because you don't.
Nah, I don't gotta give you anything.
You sound like you're from like African country to me. You don't sound
Yeah,
like.
okay. I am. I'm Burkina Bay. Yeah, let's say that I'm Burkina Bay. I'm not I'm none of that. What you talking about? I'm Burkina Bay.
Burkina Bay.
Yes.
You're from Burkina. You're from Burkina Faso. I asked you where you're from. I didn't ask you your name.
I'm Burkina Bay. Like I said.
All right. You're not American.
Just let them romanticize Africa. You know, that's what they do.
It's not about romanticizing Africa, man. But you
y'all romanticize Africa. That's exactly what y'all do.
Hey, how many of you guys?
All right, guys. Let me read these super chats. P Sage Rise 1559. Thank you for $10 holla. Viola Ford Fletcher, the oldest known survivor. She passed away in November 2025 at I guess that she's talking about the riots. Oh yeah, at age 111. Having testified to Congress and advocated for justice for over a century, they would not give us anything. 401 Orisha, thank you for 99 holla. Haitian Revolution was a huge factor that forced France to sell the Louisiana Territory. Facts, including North Carolina to the U.S. in 1803. John Baptiste Haitian, also founder of Chicago. Pharaoh Mizraim, go ahead, and then we're gonna close out.
Yes, peace, brother. Yeah, can you hear me?
The publisher of Freedom's Journal was of Jamaican.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Pharaoh. I'll pass it to Pharaoh. Go ahead, Pharaoh.
Yeah, peace. Yeah, I was listening in. Yeah, and I must say that, you know, a lot of these groups, you know, they're making us Black Americans look real bad. First of all, I don't see us getting reparations, and if these guys were to make a case for reparations, they will look terrible. I mean, it's only Black Americans who keep changing the title of our name. Why do we keep changing the title of our name, but yet you Negroes want reparations? Okay, when did the Mexicans stop being Mexicans? When did the Chinese stop being Chinese? Okay, why is it only Black Americans who are constantly changing the title of what they are? First we were Negroes, then we became, then it got changed to Africans, now FBA, now Native Americans, Moors, Hebrew Israelites.
I agree with you on that.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, and why is it that all these groups want to steal the Atlantic slave trade from its rightful people? Okay, when you go into the original primary sources, the slaves were called Negroes. They were not called Israelites. They were not called FBAs. They were not called Moors or none of that. Okay, but y'all want to sit up here and keep changing the name of our people and just making a total fool out of yourself. I mean,
and then rejecting the legacies of Black cooperation from the diaspora. No one is saying that people from the diaspora came and led or were principal. We're just saying that people from the diaspora have largely, for the most part, assimilated into and assisted in the fight for freedom and justice in the United States. And this is proven by the historical record. So all this antagonism against the Black diaspora is foolish, because you're cutting off the very people who marry into your families, who become part of you, right? So
we're not saying everybody is bad news in terms of being in solidarity with us. What we're saying is that there are certain people within those groups that actually do come against us like that. You know, like we have to call a spade a spade.
But there are people within FBA who do that too, and you don't call them out.
Yeah, I call them out as well. Like I call it the xenophobia. I'm not saying that there aren't xenophobic people
on the Black immigrants that you don't put on the FBA. Why apply the standard in only one direction then?
it's not in one direction. I think that you Pan-Africanists do that. Y'all tend to look at everything from one perspective and only kind of look at ADOS people or FBA people as being the enemy, and then and see other people as being.
Listen, as antagonistic as I may have sounded, I've called that brother who's calling me names brother, and I have prayed that he rejoins the Pan-African family, because that has been the historical reality. We are in a global fight against white supremacy.
Black and white.
Yes, that
to some degree. To some degree, I agree with you, but we do have to be specific. I think we need to be more specific about the type of fights that we need to have.
Listen,
instead of just.
If the delineation movement was all about establishing the uniqueness of an African American identity, right? According to the lineage standard that you guys have struggled
like creating a tribe, like a single tribe.
Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, the thing is, as far as like this whole thing of global, you know.
Let me finish this, brother. The problem is it comes with this ahistorical claim and a xenophobia against the very same people who are largely coming to help. Yeah, there's some dodo birds, some idiots, right, who come over here thinking that everything, that the streets are paved in gold. But guess what? They get their black wake-up card real quick. And guess where they are forced to move? Guess where they cohabitate? Guess who they marry into? They become Black America. And then, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think where we kind of like disagree is the fact that like you're not calling out the people who might be a part of either your group or other various groups of the diaspora that actually try to come here to undermine us, whether when it comes to HBCU you know, attendance, or when it comes to even jobs.
HBCU attendance.
I don't know
what
HBCU
admissions.
And let me tell you,
that's crazy.
Why are you nitpicking?
They are overrepresented.
They've been recruiting black
This is
students.
that-
They going to
that
college,
nitpicking
boy.
that I don't like. You
From the time
nitpicking.
HBCUs opened their doors, they were catering to the entire black diaspora. You could find records of Booker T. Washington sending agents to Cuba, to the Bahamas, to Jamaica, recruiting students when he first opened Tuskegee. Howard University's motto and mission statement is open to the entire black world. And all those HBCUs
we haven't even had a black American president to represent us either.
Those HBCUs were founded largely as theological seminaries. Many of them had the theological seminaries. So church organizations based on the different HBCU recruited on their network. And churches do not respect national boundaries. Lutherans, AME, they got chapters in the Caribbean, in Africa, in the United States. And so they recruited black students who had only one choice throughout the whole diaspora. And this is how you start to get black diasporans into this country immediately after slavery in the 19th century. Now that's not robbing or hurting so-called FBA. That's just what it is.
But then it makes us underrepresented in that space, in that particular space, because if they are coming here, or an influx of them are coming over here, that means that we're not going to be represented in that space, as well as even in politics. Like when we talk about the presidency, right? We've never had a black American president or ADOS president.
Down in Texas now, who said she didn't get into Texas A&M because a black person got their seat.
That's exactly what they're doing, man. And they can't substantiate it numerically, bro. That's like, it's just nonsense.
Hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. But hold on, Q Butter, you want to call in? Q Butter, I'll Q Butter. If you want to call in, I'll put a link in the chat and we'll stay on for you. If not, we'll go ahead and close out. I'll put the link in the chat with Q Butter if you want to call in. If not, we'll go ahead and close out.
And the we you're talking about, my FBA brother, my ADOS brother, that we was largely compiled with enslaved Africans who first were seasoned and broken into groups in the Caribbean, in places like Barbados and Jamaica. So that means that some of your cousins, some of your blood relatives are in these places still to this day. But yet you now want to deny them a place at an HBCU? Come on now.
They don't even know how the university system works. Universities are trying to increase the endowment. So, I mean, they trying to take as many admissions as possible that's qualified.
In
These
particular,
people, these people don't.
had early financial problems. But you're right. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Sorry to cut
right.
you
Like
off.
it's nonsense, bro. Like these
That's
these
why
people are not intelligent. That's why they
that's why
shouldn't even
Marcus
really be.
Garvey said we can't take everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
shouldn't even be
I wouldn't
speaking
charge
for
them.
these people, man.
Yeah,
Like
I wouldn't
y'all
charge them with being
representatives make y'all
unintelligent.
look
They just
bad.
got bad information. They got bad history. They got bad information. They haven't studied. They don't know. That's what's so disappointing.
All right, guys, we're going to close out. Everyone, thanks for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.